So for the dent on that side, basically here you want to dent to fit the alternator, so you have to dent this a bit. I cut it actually, was my mistake. This was too far, but it's kind of on this line. Yeah, I have to dent. Then for the intake manifold, the bigger one, you would have to dent around this area. This is the hose you're looking for if you want to use the original hose kind of thing, which is a Dyco 72166, and then you have to cut off a tiny bit on that side. This side go to the water pump housing. Well, this side is going to the original one. So when installing this hose, you have to think about how easy is it going to be to clamp these, because you don't know the position yet. You want to leave them loose, but install them on there because it's a bit to do after. So installing the hose could be like this, could be the other way around. So you have to play. I don't have the engine at the moment, so I can't tell you to be sure. However, this is kinda how it would sit. I think the other way was different, but it will basically, on the K20 at least, if you put it some way like this, it should work. Will you add it? This coupler is required as well. Top of mind, this is a 32mm coupler. Yeah, it is 32mm coupler. The reason is because this hose I have here, basically this that's not good. Well, this goes basically on here and then it goes to the engine like that. But yeah, you have to check this out and see if what you can do in length and size wise, but that's kind of how it has to be. For the brake booster, you would have to cut off just after the bend, and I just have this hose, but normally it will be longer hose that you put on and it goes to the manifold, but it will be cutting off just after the bend or before the bend, depending how you call it. So I bought Mitch Auto Parts mounts. They are not great. You might have to re-weld them. However, basically what I did, and this works, you install the rear mount over there, you install this mount over here, which means it's all connected. You can see that side and over there. Then you install the mount here, which is the one that sits on this side of the gearbox or the engine, and then you have this mount over here, which currently isn't connected in my side, but the easiest way is to connect this as much as you can, but still have a bit of movement, so you can when you hoist up the engine, you can position this and then tighten it down. So for the clutch line, Mitch Auto Parts say that you need a little extension. Just keep in mind it doesn't fit our UK cars because our clutch cylinder is different than it is in the US. Before you can buy a little extension from there to there, makes it a flexible one. Instead I decided to buy a whole new cylinder clutch line. So I'm going to take this off, that clutch line over there, all the way there, taking it off. But what you want to do is connect the line on that one first before you install it. So basically the bleed process is a lot easier. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off this whole line, go to check how it goes through the car, maybe under the car, I don't know, have to check, and then replace the whole thing. So this might not be required, however I did this for my previous setup. So as you can see here, it looks like a mountain area, but I figured the more I dent this, the bigger I can fit the air filter, the more air I can squeeze to there and to there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to try and fit my air filter here. If it doesn't work, it will fit there, which means that I will going to well, it only works if you don't have the fuse box here anymore and there, which I have in the car. But based on my setup, I'm going to make a duct going from the front there, duct there, and hopefully I can get the air as much as possible on this side, then make something like a heat shield around this area, so the air and the filters always sits there and it will always get cold air. However, like I said, it's not required, you have to check yourself. My filter is just very large, so that's why I have to do it, but you don't have to touch this, not even the fuse box and everything, so it's just additional extra if you want to do. So let's talk about the fuse system. The fuse system I used is for my turbo setup really, which I'm going to keep. So I have two hoses and a return. So this hose here, that's my return line, so that goes back to the tank. Then that line, you can see there, goes to my fuel pressure regulator and my fuel filter. So that's the fuel filter. It was the only way I could fit it myself, because it's very tight spaced over there. This actually works, and then the engine sits somewhere here, which means this will fit perfectly, and then the line on the other side goes there. And this actually works very well. This is what I use on my turbo setup, and I can confirm it's working. That's why I kept it the same way, and I don't need it out when the engine is coming in, so I could just leave it sitting like that. Now, ground points was something that was really hard for me to figure out. So there's one that's here, that's the original Toyota, which goes to the top of the valve cover on one of the studs. Then coming from the harness goes to another one on the valve cover. Then I made one over here, which basically when you have no engine in it, you can already scrape all this off. Then, as you can see, I had one over there. Then I used to have one on the back, which I will see if I can lower it a bit. So behind there I used to have one as well. Then on this side of the engine bay over here I had a ground point as well, and that's it. Those were all my ground points. So in case if you're looking for ground and your car doesn't work, try these. You can see there's one in the back there as well, which went to the intake manifold. That one, as far as I know, is not really required, but I'm leaving it on. I just need to put a new thingy on that side, but I'm leaving it on because it's not bad to have another ground. Though the engine is out, if you want that one, put it in, because if you don't, it's a bit to get through there. If the engine is in, you really can't squeeze your hand through there. I had one there before, it didn't work really well. That one was better because it's already stuck. But yes, do this while the engine is out. So I got this new graded clutch line in. Should be from the back all the way to the front. Okay, so I'm starting to disconnect these. Just keep in mind that you have to put it towards you, not from you, in case you wonder. And then you have to go under the car and take all this stuff off. So there's a little 10mm bolt here, and torque it, wrench it that way, and we'll get off like that. So you basically take your slave cylinder and put it on that brand new clutch line you see there in the back. So what I did, I went with the clutch line, I went over the fuel tank, and then all the way to the front as a straight line. Make sure that you have installed it here at the front as well, and this has to go all the way in though.